We're off with another episode
I wasn't paying attention.
of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, starring in the new Star Wars, A Nude Hope, The Force Awakens. It's Zach Elias.
Are those original?
I
Those
think
Snyder?
The Force Awakens, I think it's just another
That's
movie.
A real one, the nude one. That's
Yeah,
you?
I worked all week to try to figure out like Return of the Jedi, but nothing really worked there. And I thought A Nude Hope was pretty good.
Yeah, very good. It's very good. Better than your boy Rosenberg with his tush push plagiarism.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. I tell people to rate the episodes and review them. Zach, I was talking to a friend this weekend who called my little clips commercials. He goes, I love the commercials that you do.
But does anybody rate anything other than 1 and 5 stars? Who gives 2 or 4?
I do.
Do you? You like actually give the star scale? It's not just like super happy or seeing red.
You know it's actually going to tie in.
It was an average experience, a slightly below you, the wait a little too long.
All right, I'll just say what I do. It will tie in with today's episode, but when I am doing an actual rating of something, when I want to trash a place, I will start off with, no. Here are the 3 reasons why it gets this amount of stars. And then I just destroy it and say whatever I have to say.
Really? Pretty good. So what would constitute a 2-star review?
When you have to give, you can't just shred something. Because have you ever read some of these like 1-star reviews? People are just miserable.
Yeah. People are miserable. Like us. Me mostly.
Zachy, we have an amazing episode for today. But before we get into that, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
Found this in the fridge as well. Thought I was finished these bad boys. A Victoria from Mexico.
It's going to taste like a soul, FYI.
It's going to be a Corona. It's 4%. I can eat more of these. 4%. What do you got?
From the Evil Genius Brewery, I have something called #Love is Love. It is a strawberry blonde. It's got a really groovy looking can.
One of those.
I'm very excited about this. It's a blonde ale with a strawberry flavor and an empowering haircut. This is going to tie in a little bit also with one of our Pishadoo of the week because it benefits the LGBTQIA plus youth.
They're adding letters. It's the whole alphabet.
Release the Kraken! L'chaim.
Plus? What is...
It's always, the plus has always been there. All right, Zachy, we got a fun episode for today. Episode 174. Calling this one Nashville Hot. What do you think we're going to be talking about today, Zach?
School shootings?
Absolutely not. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are going out to anybody. It was absolutely horrible what happened yesterday. I know people listen to this episode. Terrible stuff. But it kind of was on my list of things to talk about. Because I've been in Nashville, and I don't know if I ever really said it, but the goddamn food there was so good. It was so good.
Go on.
You're waiting for it.
This is just a 5-star review of Nashville's food and a 1-star review of...
I was going clickbait stuff, but again, terrible stuff. We're not talking about school shootings. This is a comedy podcast. That's not what we're going to do.
Cry.
I think if you listen to the episode, I told you when I went to Nashville, I went to this place called Hattie B's, which is off the Heezy. It was so freaking good.
The Heezy?
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore. I can say that. I have black shirt on.
Wow. 350. We're out. Shortest episode yet. That'll do.
So
I got to look last week at the end.
I left it in.
I heard.
This came up this past weekend. Congratulations to friends of ours, Liam and Sarah. They got engaged. They are in Las Vegas, and I reached out to them to say, congrats on the marriage. Go to Hattie B's. There's one of them in Vegas. When I went out there for Joshy's bachelor party, I hit it twice and would have went a third time if I had a friend.
Alan doesn't have any friends.
What I'm getting at is when it comes to food recommendations, by the way, Liam gave me some story like, she doesn't eat meat and it's not happening. And I was like, look.
You leave her by the pool and you go gorge. Just order the left side of the menu. Just get after it.
How hard in the paint do you go when you're giving a recommendation for food?
Very, very soft in the paint.
Really?
A, I don't want to come back at me. Oh, the place sucked. And B, I truly don't care about someone else's food enjoyment. Like, it's
so
good.
Selfish.
You think? Hey, have you met me? Hey, the burger's good there. Is it great? I don't give a shit. Like you lost me any follow-up question. What are the toppings? What the fuck you want them to be? Go have it or don't. I don't care. If I'm not going with you, you've lost my whole enjoyment.
So
It's
you
total
don't get off.
narcissism.
What about the whole like people coming back and be like, oh, and Zach told us about a place and it was so good.
It does less than nothing for me. Less
Oh my
than nothing.
God.
Giving a food recommendation that they liked. Oh, I went to that place. You were so right. It was great. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. I was there too. That's why I gave it to you. Like, it does nothing for me. That, as far as you were rights, is so low on my you were right list.
Well, my favorite you were rights is I was actually right and you were wrong. This is not being against somebody. This is just getting credit.
Saturday got real harrowing. I texted you. CarPlay didn't work for about 20 minutes, and I started World War V. Like, tore through, made yelling at Jen. Somehow it was Zoe's fault. Nobody. Meanwhile, like the Wi-Fi connectivity, it worked immediately the ride home. You would have thought I was blind, deaf, and dumb driving this. I couldn't live without it. You were right.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not a foodie by any stretch.
And smell of CarPlay in the morning.
I do have somewhat of my finger on the pulse where, again, I love Olive Garden, but I'm never going to come out and just rave about it.
You have.
I've never once said, stop what you're doing, go here. But there are places I've done that for, and it's always been a 10. Always.
Yeah. And then they come back to you and go, it was a 10. Then what happens? 6 to midnight?
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if this is my daddy issues or what's going on, but I really enjoy that. Like, I introduce people to stuff. It's good.
He does that? Tell him you know me. Don't know what it means. He does that? He felt my bicep in 1974.
I read my own daddy issues, but you know what I read one time?
I
think this was a Playboy episode of it. This was a Playboy magazine where it said there's two types of people. Somebody who walks in the room and people go, he's here. And somebody walks in the room and he goes, I'm here. Which one do you think my father is?
I'm here.
I'm here.
He's like Zlatan when he took out an ad in L.A. Dear L.A., you're welcome. When he went to the Galaxy. Amazing. Oh, I dropped my cap. You're going to kill me.
I guess just to finish out the topic here, Zach, when it comes to getting a spice on anything, are you a Nashville hot guy or do you not care?
I've never been to Nashville, but like as far as
it's a flavor on wings you can get at B-Dubs.
No, I like B-Dubs are fancy. No, I like my wings hot. I like my food hot. I'm a hot sauce guy. Like my dad got me a thing of hot sauces from around the world.
Hot sauce. I heard cock sauce.
What?
Listen back to it, buddy. I'm leaving it in.
Leave it in. Yeah, 3 penis wine. But anyway, I like hot sauce. I like spice. I'm one of these like, figure out what'll kill me and take it down a notch. But I don't like when it's hot for the sake of hot, like your weapons grade wings. I like them to have some flavor. I like the heat to be with something and not just like an injury. Oh, ooh, well, hello. That snuck up on me.
Let's segue from injury. Another recommendation I gave
Hill Country was a 7, not the 9 you've said. He's out of his mind.
You're a fan or you're not?
I love Hill Country.
Oh, okay. Also,
he's out of his mind. You're out of your mind too, but you're different.
He's being a pill right now. He actually was like, I smelled it. It was fantastic.
Like in general, like a general pill or a pill for that?
A pill for this.
I see.
Zachy, segueing from your...
By the way, big pill.
Talking about injuries. Friday, I'm laying in bed, getting ready to take a beautiful nap, and I just scrolling through the talk, and it has ABC News Live. It was the Gwyneth Paltrow court case, which we talked about a little bit, and I said to you, hey, turn this on right now. It's high comedy. Did you see any of it?
Minimal, just highlights, but I saw just the stuff on the news.
Oh my God. From the beginning where Gwyneth Paltrow made a special request to bring treats to the bailiffs, which the judge denied because they're like, you're not bringing treats. That is an insane person thing.
I like it. They would allow it in Liar Liar.
I'm watching the interrogator. I don't know what she's called. The defendant, the lawyer who was going, the prosecutor who's going at Paltrow. And I have a special set of skills.
Exactly.
She's going at her. The conversation was insanity. She was flirting with her. I don't know her orientation. Not that it matters. I support everybody and everything.
Absolutely.
But she is going, how tall are you? And Paltrow constantly leaning forward. I'm 5'10". And it goes like, oh, 5'10". That's really nice. I wish I was that tall. I'm like, with heels? I don't know. They are going back and forth. And then it gets to the point where they're trying to they're trying to talk about this whole skiing incident, at which point she goes, would it be possible for the court to have her come out here so we can recreate what happened going down the mountain? And I am sitting there cackling in my bed going, this is just Saturday Night Live, right? Like they're literally doing a bit.
They're just writing it for them. It's
so here's what I got. The story was Paltrow was going down the mountain. They made her try to demonstrate it with her hands. So were you going straight? How far were your skis? I'm thinking like, lady, she was skiing down the mountain. Who cares? Look at you learning how to do a mute button.
I'm dying, man. Short COVID.
So she then says, the story is Paltrow's going down the mountain. The guy came up behind her, had his skis between her legs, at which point they fall. She describes it as a spooning position. Then she gets up, starts yelling at the guy who the whole point was he was injured or something. And all she does is yell at him. And then she gets up and leaves him and doesn't help him. That's the court case, by the way. Zach.
No one's ever helped someone on the mountain because we know what happens when you go down to get somebody's pole if they fall. You go down. Every time I've helped someone on a mountain, it's been I've gone down with them. I've fallen. Like it just
going down the mountain. Zach, if you're skiing down the mountain and somebody comes up with their skis in between both of yours,
it's happened. You go down immediately.
You go down immediately. I would have gotten up, taken my pole, and beaten the living daylights out of them.
You don't beat the daylights out of them. You just yell. She did nothing wrong. I've yelled at many people on the mountain. You just call them an asshole and you go.
I was watching this whole thing.
I hope they find Gwyneth guilty. Who's Trent Briggs?
A random listener, but happy to have him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Whatever you say, big guy.
Whatever you say.
World.
5-star review, whatever you say. That's how much. This is terrible.
It's your world, baby. We're just on the sideline. You're letting us live in it. Trent Briggs, like him.
So, keep it about killing people, which is what I absolutely would have done. Oh, yeah. Zachy, heard a great story in the news. I think it was a guy, a dentist in Tennessee, killed his wife this past weekend.
Tennessee.
He poisoned her with arsenic. Some guys just can't handle their arsenic.
She poisoned him, I thought.
No.
And someone else. Then there's another wife who poisoned their husband with like.
I think you just read the wrong story. So this guy poisoned his wife with arsenic. Naturally, he's the number one suspect in the case. The cops come, take a look at his computer. Do you know what he'd been Googling that past week?
Arsenic?
How to kill your wife with arsenic.
That's why you need to use Brave and DuckDuckGo.
I think there's still a forensic trial of that. The point is, how fucking dumb are you?
Pretty stupid.
That is really, really bad.
Or maybe the real killer went on his computer. Then he's a genius.
Now you're thinking like a sociopath. That's the Zach Elias we know and love.
Absolutely. That's why you elected me, jury foreman. We're idiots. Nevertheless, that's really how the Wet Bandits would have done it.
Sticky Bandits?
Them too.
Oh my God. That actually is really, Zach, killing your wife. Okay.
By the way, speaking of that, I think juror should be a job. Jury of your peers is insane. 12 assholes on the subway. I want a highly trained, analytical bunch of skeptics. Like, I think we'd be good jurors.
Absolutely not. I would say, I don't know if I should admit this on air, but if I am selected for jury duty, I don't care who it is or what they've done. I'm voting with everybody to get me the hell out of there.
But
my civic duty, I could not care less.
But not civic duty. What they pay you $500,000 to do it, like a lawyer. Then you take it seriously.
Do you know what I would do for a lot less money than that?
Yeah, horrible stuff. But
Star Wars: A New Hope. Call back.
Yeah.
Zach, you ever thought about killing your wife?
Only every day, including today. No, she's the best. If I killed her, what's the point? I'd be dead within an hour. Like I can't.
What? Zoe would kill you?
No, society. Just like I can't like feed myself. I can't do things. I don't know where socks come from. Like I need her. No, she's the best.
I think this is a sign of maturation. 10, 15 years ago, if the toilet seat was left down, I would be like, I'm murdering this person. Like, I don't think I can even talk to them anymore. Nowadays, there's literally nothing Julia could do. I could come home. The whole Ravens are taking turns on her. I'd be like, good for her.
Not all of them. Lamar's out.
He can go.
We'll get to that later.
Do you know? Is it on your list?
I mean, it's a bit of it.
You want my take? I don't know if we've talked about this. One, as soon as he wins his second game ever in the months of December or January, I don't want to hear about this. Also, they're offering him a ton of money. He just wants more guaranteed. Bye-bye.
There's much more to this delightful story.
Are you talking about, his non-authorized agent who has a outdoor gym service that he's trying to sell.
You mean Meek Mill?
Oh no, that's the
Like,
Patriot.
Meek
You don't know who
Mill
Meek
is
Mill is. I know that part.
what?
Go ahead.
I know who he is. He's a rapper-ish.
Nate, what's his top 3 songs?
You can go 3 deep.
I have Spotify. I could get there.
Now you can get there, yeah. And he's texting Bob Kraft. It's insane. Okay, I can see the thumbs working the Google on the interweb machine. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he asked for a trade on the second and just can't, someone leaked it. Can't people keep that shit in the locker room anymore?
No, this was
leaking.
How about the fact that he dropped that tweet at 7:58 or whatever the time was, which was 3 minutes after Harbaugh took the stand?
Yeah.
It was a little suspect. Zachy, finishing up with wives. We were talking about killing our wives. I want to send out a mazel to your wife who finished a dry try. I know it wasn't a wet try in your house.
No, never. We don't even try in my house.
Why are you not doing it with her? By the way, I am legit very proud of her. I think it's amazing. Why are you not training with her?
Because someone has to watch Zoe when she's off gallivanting at the gym.
Gallivanting? She doesn't do like P90X at home?
Oh, who?
What about like a Peloton?
No, we're not buying that shit. Although I probably would get into it and get in shape. No, she likes going to the Orange Theory near her office. I'm sure there's some trainer she's stopping, but like either way, no, she likes doing it. I go to the fitness museum in my building. It's like Jack LaLanne throwing a medicine ball to me. But that's it.
Last week, Zacharias, we forgot the Whatcha Watchin. Why don't you tell everybody what you're watching?
Aside from the regular shows that I'm currently watching, or if you started season 3 of Ted Lasso,
Sames.
not bad.
Serviceable.
2 episodes deep. It's fun, sir. History of the World Part 2. Have you seen it? Are you through
I meant to and forgot about it.
So we're 5 episodes in. It's objectively very funny. Yeah, 5 out of 8. Yeah, it's very funny. It's Nishiki.
It's Mel Brooks. You would watch him read the phone book. Exactly.
Well, that's pretty much what I'm doing. It's funny. He does the narration. It did not need to be made. It bastardizes the original. The timelines are just bafflingly jumping. The first one borders on perfect. Just does. It's fantastic. At least for me, it does. What was that? Just like I don't want to see Blazing Saddles 2. I don't want to see any of this shit too. Yeah, they teased History World Part 2 in the first one, which was even funnier because it didn't actually happen. It's really just Nick Kroll doing Nick Kroll. I don't know. Mel Brooks' promo.
Did we talk about he's like a very, very rich person from his father's empire? Yeah, I found this out recently. Okay, go on, keep going.
Yeah, no, Mel Brooks gave away in like the promo. He goes, "I took the money, so here's the program." Like, it's funny. I would have actually rather seen Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money, which they talked about doing, but I'm watching it. And Zoe and I are watching. I think it's on like weekends, like from Australia. Vets Saving Pets. It's just like heartfelt stories. Zoe's totally into it.
Do you watch Bluey?
No. What the fuck
Do you know what that is?
Oh, the baby show.
Yeah. I went to a patient's house the other day, and they were watching on Netflix Bluey. Apparently, it's all the rage.
How old are your patients?
Well, it was 4 generations of women, and it was for
popping mushrooms and watching Bluey.
It was for the young kid. They were watching Bluey.
No, Zoe never got into Bluey. She's way too old for it now. But no, she never got into it.
Way too old. How old is she? She was 8 last time I spoke with her. Did something happen?
Something did happen. All hell breaks loose.
Oh, no invite?
None. You want to come to that shit? It's chaos. The place was called Extreme Energy. I was calling it Extreme Anxiety. It's just kids running around, like ships in the night. I don't know how they don't slam into each other, but they don't. It's like a trampoline room, and there's a jungle gym extravaganza. Kids love it. And then eventually it moves into the cake room. The whole thing is run by like Persians who have this thing down to a science. It's a lot. We have to get you out of here. It becomes hookah lounge in 20 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say too many details, but I just found out my nephew's bar mitzvah next year is going to be one of those, not exactly a formal party. It's going to be very active with stuff going on. I'm ready to drill some kids in the face.
Wait, it's going to be a dodgeball party? It's not just limbo and like funny hats?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so I'll just leave it at that.
What do you mean you can't say?
It might be a surprise.
For him? He's listening to this shit?
No, but he wants to be a guest all the time.
Oh, bring him on. Carson, Bryson, one of those sons?
Carsonator.
The Carsonator? Yeah, bring
Zach, do you want to know what I'm watching?
Go on.
Did we talk about, I always get it wrong, shrinkage
really high there.
or shrinkage? Shrinking. Did we talk about this on air?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Apple show, Jason Segel. It's a little too sitcom-y for me, except they dropped a lot of F-bombs, but not enough nudity. That's one of my big problems.
Is there nudity? Like
Zero. There's
Zero.
no. There's sex jokes and there's different like cursing. But it's a show where like everybody is friends in some weird way, and none of them, their lives do not intersect at all. They just have like a music. The scenes get very like, and the whole gang's hanging out, which is the recipe for a good sitcom. But you need to have something common, like the bar, the office.
Right.
Something needs to unite them. Anyways, there is a guy who plays the neighbor on the show, and this guy has friendly neighbor shtick down to a T. He is so funny, and I have no idea who he is. I'm recently away talking to my friends about the show. I'm like, no, this neighbor, he's the husband. He's like, and somebody's like, what is he like a Jefferson Darcy? I went, that is exactly who he is. He has the timing, he has the charisma. I then get back and I start Googling. Do you know who the guy's being played by?
Ted McGinley?
It is, and he's so good. He's
right,
so good.
Now
you gotta watch
me.
it. There's a couple of funny jokes.
Yeah.
How about me not recognizing him, going like, he's like him?
That's amazing. By the way,
took somebody.
Do you want a sitcom that has all the nudity? One of the greatest shows ever made, but hard to find because HBO seems to wash their hands. Dream On. Do you know of this show?
Oh, with Arliss?
No, it was before Arliss.
Like
years before Arliss. You'll know everyone in it. Like Wendy Malick is in it, and you'll know every B level or C level sitcom star is in this. Tits all over the place. HBO apparently didn't know what to do with all their old like movies in the 20s, so they made it the guy's inner monologue as these old movies that pop up. The show holds up. It's nonsense. It's early 90s. Jugs everywhere. But like 90s jugs, so they're like sort of pointy. It's perfect.
Zachy, time to get jerky. Be quirky.
Yeah. So, I mean, quirky. We talked about your boy Lamar Jackson. Speaking of your boy, Mr. Beast. You ever see he tipped a waitress a car and he's getting slammed for it?
Why? Because it offends the people that aren't able to drive? I
guess. I don't know. Like, he's getting slammed for giving a car as a tip. She was beside herself happy. It's a great tip.
Zach, if we ever achieve...
No, because it was branded. Who gives a shit?
I would get branded to get 1/100th of the success that guy has achieved.
Like, branded?
Total tool.
Is he?
Have you never like actually watched him or anything?
No. You taught me about who he is. I had no idea.
It's one of those, go up to a kid and be like, hey, I know Mr. Beast. They'll be like, you have a podcast? What?
Get him on the show. Yeah, right. Not Mr. Beast, some random kid.
Do you know how close we are with? Have you been following any of the AI generated stuff, the Chat GPT?
We had that this thing for work for us the other day, and it was pretty good.
It's getting close. Like, I've been stuck watching. They do AI generated real life people for cartoon sitcoms. It's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's really, really good.
Mayor Adams is appointing New York City's first ever rat czar. That's a hell of a title. I don't know what he does. I assume he's just like the Pied Piper or goes and kills rats. That's a great business card to have. Rat czar?
There's a documentary we watched about rats. I think it's on Netflix. You won't hate it. But the opening scene is an exterminator in Manhattan who goes, they say there's more rats on this island than people. There's double. Oh, yeah. If rats were spiders, you would be in upstate New York right now.
Yeah, forget it. Did you see that the Mets have those $25,000 seat things, the Cadillac Club? Eric, our boy, was raving about it. Right. So you can join like the Cadillac Club at the Met games for $25,000 a year and sit in like the outfield. It's like the stupid thing. The Mets trying to raise money. That is not the worst thing they are doing. For the first time this year, the Mets are offering food tours before the game, guided tours of the stadium's top vendors. What do you think this costs?
$112.
Very close. For $150 per person, includes a taste of everything. Tweeted Darren Rovell of Action Network.
Wait,
$150.
Tweeted who?
Darren Rovell.
There it is. It's Rovell. He's a very, very famous person.
I have no idea who he is. Anyway, $150 so you can get a shtickle of food and take a food tour. How fat are people? Have to hit up every eatery and take a nibble. $150 is obscene for that. Plus ticket pricing.
To be fair, of all the stadiums I've been to, the Mets do have like a decent selection. They
They
get
got
some
a
really
donut
good
this
food.
year with a fried chicken. I'm definitely gonna put that in me.
FAT positive over here.
I'm gonna roll me out of there. But 150 for
Question for
what
this
kind of
Cadillac
nice meal
Club.
you can get? Yeah, the Cadillac Club's the stupidest thing in the world.
Does it help if you own a Cadillac? Because I
Um,
know 2 people right now that in theory own Cadillacs.
2? Or the hell they just have 2?
Both in my immediate family.
Your mom has one too?
My father has a Cadillac, and
Right.
my wife
Has a
a
Cadillac.
2024. It's coming any day now.
We just got it in 2023. What?
I don't know how that always works with the next year, but yeah,
Was like the
she's
Jetsons car? Like, and by the way, why a Cadillac? I just bought a new car, and Cadillac, actually an American car, was so far down on my list. Like, why not get a Lincoln at that point? Just get a town car. What did she get?
daughter Judy. She got like the EV SUV.
What?
She's very excited about it. Just be like, yay, congratulations. Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna get. I can't get there with her. I can't rise to her level. It's like the restaurant thing. But like, it just seems like a weird dealership to walk into. I don't even know what I would say to the Cadillac.
There's one
guy.
by us, so it was easy. But it's a nice car.
So it's a purchase of convenience. Like,
It's a purchase of stature and niceness. And Cadillac, it's a nice car. It's literally better than a Tesla.
maybe I've never actually driven one. I've rode around in them, but I've never I've been in the back seat. You didn't like it. If he saw it, he'd change his mind. All right, Toots, send me a picture. I want you in the Cadillac or Alan splayed out on it.
With or without clothes.
One of each. Now I'll tell you which I like better.
The Force will awaken, Zach.
Maybe. I don't know. No one's getting any younger over there.
We're going to visit one of her friends next month who's might be getting a job at Cialis. And I was like,
taking a trip in a Lincoln? Cool.
I asked for free samples, and she's like, "You're not getting free samples."
I'd love to try one.
Right.
Just to see what it could do.
Just to see what all the fuss is about. I would definitely just walk around all day like, so how are you guys doing?
Yeah,
just knocking stuff over.
Sweatpants all the time. Yeah, just like, yeah, exactly. Road trip. What am I gonna do? Cut it off? Just to see how it goes. I want to see how much time it takes. I want to see if it makes any difference. I want to see if like a priapism or that thing that's like 4-hour morning wood.
The other thing that I watched, I've been meaning to talk about this. Bert Kreischer put out a new comedy special. It's on Netflix. I watched that in a plane at night flying back from the DR with Julia, and she is literally hitting me going, you were laughing really loud. People are starting to turn around.
So what?
The first 10, 15, there's a couple of like dirty jokes. I'm like, I've heard this before. I don't care. Zach, it's called Razzle Dazzle. Halfway through, I am crying laughing, and she's elbowing me like, stop it. Stop laughing. Stop it.
Why? You paid for your seat. You can do what the fuck you want. It's still America up there, remember?
Pishadoo of the week, Zacharias. I have 8 candidates. I thought I was going to have to take one off the list because I thought it was going to be part of your quirks.
No, well, maybe.
Candidate number 1. This is a little old. It segues from my can. Tell me you've heard about these NHL teams that are doing like practice jerseys that are in rainbow of support of the LGBTQ.
I've seen that, yeah. God
Tell me you heard about.
game.
Tell me you heard about these teams that are like, I refuse to play in that. I'm not doing it.
I have not. But Jesus Christ.
But honestly, they're making money from this. It's all one big money grab promotion. Just eat the fucking rat. Like,
yeah, exactly. Wear the jersey. Play ball.
Wear the jersey. You're not saying you got to go out there and do anything. You're not even saying you support them. It is a uniform.
Yeah, they're paying you God knows what to wear whatever colors they choose. They dictate the colors.
For the skater round. We're not even talking the game.
If the Steelers change their colors from black and yellow to green and blue, you wear it. What the fuck they tell you to wear?
Me?
Not you. But
speaking of which, we got to go see that piece of shit tomorrow morning, that the OBGYN.
What did OBJ do?
The OBGYN we have where we go in and sit down. It's like the Ace Ventura 2, My Own Personal Hell, where it's just Steelers stuff all in the office. I'm like, we need a new doctor. Did I not tell you this?
You did. Forgot about it.
We got to go see this asshole tomorrow. And every time he just looks at me, I just want to be like, I hope all your quarterbacks die. I really do. Even though Pickett's from like 5 doors down.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, they had pictures of like Stalin on the wall and Putin. I was all Russian in there. But yeah, it was a lot of Ruski. But yeah, there was quite the scene in that place. Anyway, go on with your candidates.
If we called it the Tushki Putsch, Tushki Puchki, could that be any better?
A little bit.
Candidate number 2. I think this may be fake.
Wait, who was one again? I forgot already.
I think it's the Minnesota Wild who were the ones that were
Okay.
refusing to wear they were basically anti-gay pride, which is just so
Yeah.
stupid. I couldn't care what your actual thoughts and opinions are, but for the sake of a skate around, and
Yeah,
the Wild came out and they basically were like, we will find other ways to support them. I was like, just shut the hell up. So stupid.
I hope they were like leather and assless chaps, if that's better.
Like Mystery Alaska to the skate with the jock.
What?
Do you see it?
I have.
Candidate number 2. This may be fake. I may be falling for it, but there's a rumor that gym meatheads are now eating dog food because it creates a lot of protein synthesis from the high density blah, blah, blah.
That's not real.
You think that's totally fake?
I hope so.
I tried looking into it to find out, like, is there more protein for your powder type of, and I was like, this is so weird.
That's weird.
Candidate number 3. Ever see the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
Frank Abagnale Jr., who had a whole book and movie about being a complete sociopathic liar, turns out he made most of it up.
What?
Like, the whole movie's fake. The whole thing.
How is that possible?
I'm surprised you're surprised that a guy who made a whole movie about scamming people scammed people.
Yeah, but didn't he get arrested?
That he may have, but then he also got a job with the FBI, but it all was
Right.
bullshit. Like, okay, 10% of it was real?
Damn.
I know people in West Baltimore that get arrested, and they're not making movies about them.
That's true.
Candidate number 4. I think this is in Germany. They're now making powdered beer, kind of like instant coffee, but instant beer.
Ew. No.
We should get some for next episode, right?
Well, yeah, maybe. But stern.
I don't hate it. I don't
It's
know
not
when I'm going to
terrible.
find it, but I might look that up.
Yeah,
Candidate number 5.
Send me some in Venmo, Jenna.
You know that they made or making a movie where it's Winnie the Pooh, but it's like a real life version and it's a horror film?
Horror?
A horror.
Scary?
No, they're
Neither of us could say that.
putting them on a chair and just going
what?
up and down.
I'd watch that.
It's a scary movie, which got canceled in Hong Kong. They won't play the movie there.
I like it. I think
So
that
why can't they come up with original concepts? I'm actually really
they've got
bothered by
none.
this.
But if you're gonna go still stolen concept, do a total rope a dope. Like I'd like to see every Disney movie. Most Disney movies are a little terrifying, but all kids movies just make them just terrifying. Toy Story, but like from the point of view of Sid, who breaks the toys. Yeah, just get weird with it.
Candidate number 6. For whatever reason, Blockbuster.com, the website, has been reactivated.
Love it.
There's no chance I ever. What is the pivot? What are they doing?
They're gonna tell you. That's the pivot. We don't know.
The pivot is I'm never going to a Blockbuster. I barely pay for the movies that I watch. Not any of them.
I don't know, but they got a game. They got an end game. I can't believe they never came out with a streaming service. How they just dropped the ball? Just like
They were
Last
trying
Man
to
of the
or something, and
Titanic.
they thought it was a bad idea. They're like, nah, it's not going to do anything.
because they had the name, they had everything. They have every movie in the world.
Candidate number 7. I thought you were going to cover this. Explain what happened to JT Real Muto.
JT Real Muto.
Who is he? For people who don't follow baseball, give me like the 3-sentence
For
synopsis.
someone who got run this season, he did nothing wrong. All right.
What was he doing?
He didn't do anything.
Oh my
So,
God,
okay.
Zach.
All right.
Not everybody follows this.
Okay, so JT Realmuto is the catcher for the Phillies. The Phillies closer threw a ball, didn't like it. The ump threw him a ball to Craig Kimbrell. He didn't like that one either. So now we're on ball number 3. Realmuto goes like this, asks for a ball, and then moves his glove away as the ump drops the ball. New ump, by the way, minor league ump, 39 games in the pros. After Realmuto moves the glove, within seconds, the ump runs him. Immediately, it's fabulous theater. He did nothing wrong. He was giving him a little zets, a little,
So
how's your father?
the TLDR for this, for people who don't know, is basically a new ball needed to be put in play. The catcher put his glove
But
back.
there's more to it than this backstory.
Then he took it away as the umpire drops the ball and threw the catcher out of the game.
Immediately. But he didn't do anything wrong. He was just giving the ump a little business.
I don't think he did anything wrong.
No.
I think he turns around. He's like, I literally didn't know if you were throwing the ball back or giving it to me. He didn't do that on purpose.
It's questionable. Even if it's funny, I don't care. The ump is out of his mind.
And last candidate,
But he's
A
not as
new-
bad as the college ump who got suspended indefinitely for calling a ball a strike that was
I
like in
saw
the
that.
dirt.
It was
That
really
guy's
bad.
great.
Bounce. Last candidate. Zach, a new way to get canceled. If you've ever sent or posted a meme where there is an African American person in it, they are calling it digital blackface.
What?
If you send a meme or a picture with a black person in it, they're calling it digital blackface. You are a racist.
But you're friends with the guy.
But I have a black friend. I have
Do
a black
you?
shirt.
Yeah. See, he's not a friend. He's a guy you know.
He would let me 5 blunts.
He's got it. Yeah, once he's got on him. Not money. Well, I don't. I'm still not getting it. So like me and Z take a picture together, and I make a meme.
No,
and,
dummy. Like, remember the girl who used to do, hey, nobody got time for that?
oh, okay.
If
So
you
I
send
just
that to people,
so if you send me a random black kid meme, like that little black kid, yeah, that kid.
or what about the guy hanging brain, the big guy?
that guy? He's very dead, by the way.
I know. Bert has a whole. Watch the special. It's really good.
All right.
Really
So
good.
I don't get why. Is it only black? Like what about Spanish or Chinese or?
Can you say Chinese? I can.
I just did. You can't. She's Cambodian. You don't get
The,
full Asian clearance. You don't get deference for all Asians. You get your own.
Are you saying agent clearance or Asian clearance?
Asian.
Agent.
And that's not fraud protection. You're only like Cambodian by injection, or she's Jewish by injection, whatever it is. You don't get to make fun of Laotians and the rest of them.
Hockey, anti-gay pride, meatheads eating dog food, catch me if you can's, one big lie, powdered beer, Winnie the Pooh got canceled in Hong Kong, Blockbuster's comeback, Real Muto gets tossed, and digital blackface. Zachy, who is the
The answer is very obvious, but I might change my tune imminently. It's powdered beer. But if we try it and it's not terrible or at least fun, I'll circle back and call it Real Muto.
Have you ever not had fun with me?
Probably. I mean, I gotta think you're not a 10. You're not always a fireball.
I'm
So
5 stars.
4.5.
Boozer Daddy of the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. We're going to keep doing this. Zacharias, Reese Witherspoon, back on the market. Yay or nay?
For her? Sure, why not? Yay.
Elle Woods all
Absolutely.
day.
But not as much yay as Trent Briggs. A big fan of strangers. Go Trent Briggs.